It is now winter for our little village here in Ancient Cities, and I'm hoping that we're able to make it through with everyone alive. Hello again there, friends and fans. Raptor here, and welcome back to Ancient Cities. I have really been trying hard here to get our people to make it through the winter, so we've been preparing all summer and autumn with getting a bunch of fish stored up and, of course, getting berries and mushrooms, anything else we could find, really, to see if we can survive our first winter here and continue on growing the village. One of the coolest things in this game, actually, is the ability to make people, well, you know, baby making, you know what I mean? And so it's kind of cool that it does take quite some time to, you know, get children to grow, though it doesn't seem to be year-by-year basis. In other words, the camp will grow naturally, and it seems like there needs to be more of external forces in the game, you know, like merchants coming in for trade and people just wandering in, wanting to be a part of your camp or whatnot, or immigrating, basically. So for now, it's going to be quite challenging because every time somebody might starve to death, it takes quite some time to get that person back. So that's why it's really important to make sure that we're alive and kicking when it comes to preparing fish and such. So it seems like, yeah, it's the, apparently it's the autumn of the first year, but really it's just winter now. Let's speed up time and see if we can survive. If we do, I want to build ourselves a wall around the camp and then finally finish things up. So we'll see how long it takes for the fish to come in. If, well, if everyone starves to death, we won't be able to build the wall around the camp because not enough people will be alive. And if they do survive, then the spring will be followed up by building a lot of new buildings in order to finish up the camp on the lower side and then remove all the buildings that you've seen throughout the very top side. All right, let's see what's going on up here. Oh, yes, they just need to add some more materials to this thing to get it repaired. It seems like things are destroyed or damaged over time, and they always need to be either replaced in order to repair them, or the fire needs wood in order to burn. All right, well, let's see how long our people will take to, I think, inevitably come to their doom. It seems like the most important thing, like right at the very start of the game, is to immediately start building shelters. So, you know, you want a little bit of storage up, an immediate gathering to get those buildings done, and then immediately, right when things are about to get finished, go right over to fishing and have people taking fine sticks and turning them into spears, then harpoons, and then bone harpoons, which give the 250% bonus to storing fish, and then drying fish as much as possible, as well as gathering berries, then having your people from day one gather berries, mushrooms, hazelnuts, clams, although I haven't found any clams yet, but they're probably around there somewhere. I do like how this game looks a lot. Again, I always just think of Dawn of Man when I play this. It almost feels like a mod in many ways, which is cool, because the beginning is so similar. You know, there's not too much in terms of diversity in these buildings. It's basically everything stick, straw, and stone. That's basically all you've got, as well as some fire here, too, to cook the food, so it's kind of similar. 212 now on the food. 59. Oh, are we still able to find mushrooms? 56. I don't know if there's still mushrooms growing out there. There shouldn't be in the winter, but I guess it would be a little easier to survive in the winter if we were still able to hunt deer and trap animals and go bird hunting and stuff. There'd still be some animals around, so it would be a big deal to get one or two, you know, pieces of meat or something during this time. To get one person to last one more day would be huge. So if we make it through the winter, we're going to focus on then building this wall here. Otherwise, I want every single person on fishing, who is having some trouble here. Malnutrition, fitness. We did reduce our rations a bit, so I assume some people are kind of starving, but it is better than dying. Our rationing was cut slightly. We're just one tier down from full food. So, and labor time is increased. We have everybody working as frequently as possible to maintain those food levels. So I guess it's anyone's guess to see if we'll make it through. Again, previously in the comment section, somebody said that they stored up 600 fish and were barely able to make it or didn't make it. But since we have other food, I don't know if it creates more nutrition or whatnot. It seems like there might be a hidden nutrition bar. It's not just hunger. It might just be, you know, that they're lacking nutrition A, B, and C. Maybe it's like protein, fruit, and grain or something like that. It could be that simple, just for the time being. I do like how these tents are different colors, too. One seems to be red, and the other one's a little bit more tan. And, of course, we added some nice decorations here, which proves that there could be more to do in the future in terms of grain, though I don't know if farming was in the Mesolithic era. I remember back from Dawn of Man that seems to be true, but I can't remember the, I can't remember if it's the Neolithic era. I can't remember how it goes, but I think there's an age before that in Dawn of Man where you immediately start by having a few tents to build from the very start if you want to, and you can migrate with your settlers, which is neat. And the same here from the very beginning. really like the place in which we've settled. I don't know. Just looking at this just makes me happy. Just to see this going on every day is just kind of cool. I like how the water comes through, and I like the little area there. Hopefully we can build bridges and such in the future to create roadways and things. Be kind of cool to do basic roads. Wow, fish is maintaining at 223. I thought it would be dropping a lot more, but I guess it pays off to go with those extra work hours. And I don't see anybody else drying fish. Looks like they've given that up for the winter. Although we do have baskets and such still ready to hold that stuff. Very interesting. Alright. I think we need to build the wall up this way too. I think I did a little bit of construction on that and then kind of just aborted for the time being, because I didn't want to have all these little symbols on the screen. Seems like only one section of the wall is complete. Oh, and the wall, of course, takes damage as it's just standing too. So, man, you're going to need to do maintenance on the wall. So, the smaller the better, I suppose. What we could have done is just built a wall here to kind of defend ourselves up against the water. But since they only need to leap across, they meaning a bear or a lion or, I don't know, Freddy Krueger or whomever, all they got to do is do a hop and a skip across the river and they're in. So, all right, it is officially the end of our first year. Played years, one. How many years you've played? Not necessarily 1 year because we started in the spring, but we'll just kind of see how things go. We just got to kind of keep an eye on the food. There's really nothing to do. We're actually ending up with more dried fish. How is that possible? They must be drying the fish somewhere. Did you notice any? We were like at 220. Now we're at 252, I think. Or maybe it's going back and forth. Holy crap, the people actually might survive. And look at all those spears. Holy crap. They must put these here for storage temporarily. It would be kind of cool if you could make a storage area, just like lasso an area and say, hey, if there's any extra tools for anybody, you know, if somebody's coming back from chopping logs and they need to have a meal and somebody's just finishing their meal, then they can take turns using the equipment. That's a good idea. So I'm assuming then, like I mentioned before, if we have a well and if we have a mill and if we have a little oven, then that means we can do some sort of baking in the future. And if we have a pelt, then that means, of course, with hunting, then we can turn these into raw hides to pelts, I guess. Or I guess that's what exactly these are made of, is raw hide. But kind of cool how they paint them, too. It'd be really neat if you could draw your own or make your own custom artwork or something for somebody who is talented to make their very own artwork on that. All right, we're approaching halfway through winter. We're almost there. Just a little bit longer. It looks like somebody has given birth. Wow, we have more people in the colony. Does it show them as a newborn? Oh, wow. 17 already. Boy, did they grow up fast. No, it can't be that one. 3. 3. So they must start as like 3-year-olds or something just to give you a little bit of a boost. I'm all for that, by the way. Anything to speed up a little bit of time of getting more laborers in the camp is good, because otherwise the first few years will kind of feel the same if you can't get a camp to continue to grow. Having a few buildings built and then waiting for things to go can be a little boring. I understand that, but also I don't mind waiting to watch the people do things too, so long as they're doing something different. However, we're very limited here with just the fishing. All right. Oh, looks like new home construction is taking place here too. I had forgotten that we're setting up 4 little tents, 4 little camps here. So the goal then will be to get through winter, and if we do, then we will jump to a fully built colony, or I keep saying it as a colony because I'm thinking back to the colonial days where, you know, people would land and then they'd build a wall around it and build houses and such, though probably nicer quality than this. The building techniques got better in time, but for now it's just basically stick, straw, and rope. All right. Now things look okay. 215 fish. Not bad. We're about halfway, and we're just over 200 fish, including still fresh fish available and lots of mushrooms. Holy crap, mixing up that food is incredibly important. We'll have to make sure that the beginning of the next year that we have our people gathering all sorts of food. And I'm wondering, I've done this before in other games. I can't remember which game. Oh yeah, in Medieval Dynasty. Previously in Medieval Dynasty, if you've ever seen that game before, some years that we would have such great harvests that we would skip a year of doing crop. I know it sounds insane, but sometimes you can take your people, sometimes, 10 or 15 people off of doing farming to do other things like construction and mining. and then coming back to farming the next year. And by the time that they return to that job, there's more people in the camp to take over the thing that they built, the industry that they took off to build for 1 year. Unless you're doing cash crops, of course, like linen. All right, yet another day until the middle of winter. Still in December. Ooh, fish drastically dropping now. Dried fish going down to 157. Must have been a little while until people were hungry. I don't think our people eat every day. Oh, I do like the camp too, by the way. Really good detail on the water in front of the low ground here in front of the camp. I don't think this is here from us building any structures and clearing out the land. I think it just looks like that anywhere, maybe. Like here you can see some water. That's some fine detail. I do like that. All right. 10 degrees Celsius. Pretty warm for winter, huh? Literally the middle of winter, and it's 11 degrees Celsius. I guess we shouldn't complain. We don't have any way to really defend ourselves against the cold other than the campfire. We don't have the ability to make linen clothes. Wool isn't a thing yet. Even animal fur. We can't get any sort of pelts in order to make fur coats or gloves or anything. Lots of food still being stored here. Mushrooms. Too bad there's not a mixed storage as well. That would be very helpful if we could actually store more than one item, especially in a larger thing like this. To be able to maybe have a bucket at the bottom of a hole and stack it full of berries, mushrooms, and whatever else. Would be less construction and more storage. Which again, when we have half the people on, let's see. Oh, we'll have to switch back. Yeah, 12 people are on gone fishing, and nobody else is doing any of this work just yet. No gathering of berries or anything, or nuts. All right, middle of winter should be later today. It is the beginning of a new day. Oh yeah, it gets really cold at night. Okay, we almost dropped to 0. It was pretty close. All right, so as soon as we're through winter, I'm going to build ourselves a little camp wall. I can't wait. I hope it happens. I'm really looking forward to that. 116, 11, 17. Ooh. Oh, it looks like they do store the bone harpoons at night. They put them into storage and then people are assigned them. So it's not like they're holding on to them forever. It looks like they put them down. So we have way more than enough of spears from the Sears Craftsman group that were making those. So if 1 or 2 breaks, we still have plenty of other ones in storage. Cool. All right. 10, 16, 99. All right, we're getting there. Ooh, and just 2 days until spring. You can almost see that green dot. Come on, baby. We got to land this. This feels like landing the space shuttle in a snowstorm on a Friday. And you're hungry. Okay. I'm seeing a lot of wheat and stuff here. I really want to be able to... this seems to just be grass, but I really want to be able to... one of the things I think that's underdone in Dawn of Man at the start of that game is that there are areas where you can gather wheat, but you're not able to grow it yet. And that's something I'd like to see them expand on in that game, is more early era. Everybody seems to try to... Even though it's very interesting that you start in caveman times, everybody seems to like that and then immediately rush for as late of the game as possible. And I like to kind of relish in the middle, where there's a lack of a lot of things and everything just kind of has to come down to ingenuity and hard work. Even though some of the upgrades really changed the camp. I really like that too. And upgrading and doing research is fun as well. But I really want there to be only... it'd be kind of cool if you could just get the knowledge from somewhere else. I don't know exactly how the research is going to be done, but it'd be cool if somebody shows you something and then all the only lack in this game would be the materials. And I don't see anything that could restrict or lock you out, other than just not having the materials, but so far so good. Well, look at that. Doesn't that look nice? The sunrise, the trees. Really cool. Bob Ross. Happy accents. All right. 2 more full days, and then we're there. Well, here's hoping that we're going to make it through. Down to 68 fish and 11 mushrooms. I was quite optimistic before, and now it's kind of looking, oof. We might have to cut rations even further just to see if we can make it through. We're going to cut rationing to half. I hate to do it, but we need to actually make it through here. It's not looking great. and I want to try to at least get everybody to survive. I know it's really not a great thing, but all right, sun up to sundown. Everybody's got to work. Everybody's going off a very long distance to go fishing. That's the problem with fishing, too, is that there's areas maybe every couple hundred meters, so you've got people almost like a kilometer upriver, you know, spread out every couple hundred meters fishing, which I guess is realistic, too, but also is a real big pain that somebody spends half their day going out to get to the fishing spot, get 10 fish, and then come back, and then have to eat half of them themselves because they're hungry from the walk. That kind of sounds like me. You know how it is when you go to the fast food place. You know if you've done this. If you go to the fast food place, and of course you eat half the fries on the way home. All right, well, if you haven't already, go ahead and give that glory to Raptoria down below in the comment section. And thanks to everybody following on Twitter and Instagram so I can do some more giveaways and such. And thanks again for just being amazing and subscribing as we rocket towards 1 million. It's fun just to play games and hang out. I'm glad you guys are lighthearted and do so here on the channel. We wait another night. It'll be spring soon. Let's see if we can make it. Let's hold off. I'm just going to kind of keep an eye on that fish there. And also everybody's hunger. I see they're getting a little annoyed. Let's take a look here and see what everybody's angry about. I am hungry, of course, yeah. Boy, us cutting the food a little bit really has cut it a lot. Half is definitely not 0, but it's definitely not good. They're doing a lot of work for this type of food. I thought we'd maybe be able to go a day, but it doesn't look like it bought us much time. Alright, let's cut it again. Actually, I wanted to go back this way with labor age. Is there... What exactly is this called in the game? I don't know if it says, like, you know, it doesn't really say an age. I don't know if this means 10 or 15. And if this is 20 and this is 30. I mean, literally, 30 is elderly. In this day and age, 30 is basically like, how'd you live to 30? Well, I didn't get killed by a bear. Wow, you're the first person to do that. Congratulations. All right, let's keep an eye on it. And you really got to babysit. I guess I'm just worrying. I'm just panic-mongering now. We're at 46 fish, though. There is a possibility that we might make this. All right, let's see. At least the music is good. Okay. 2 more tents to build, too, or huts until we can move down here. Though I think this is enough homes already. I think this is 8. Oh, wow, these can hold 6. I forgot about that. So 12 plus, I think these are 4, so 8. All right. And I think we've got less than 20 people or so we got some room to expand. All right, another dark night. Definitely not the rain that we want, but I guess the rain that we deserve. Bum, 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 bum. Certainly do like this type of music. I like the beat. All right, 1 more day. Actually, I think it's 2 more days. I'm really hoping for spring because I believe that's when a massive amount of the fish come back. And I think drying fish is disabled for this time. So we're barely making it with fish. Mushrooms have all gone out. We have 25 dry fish remaining. And we've got a day and a half. Which I guess in this case is like really like a month. Man, you know, I honestly feel blessed that at this point in the game we don't have to manage things like firewood and clothing. I would like to see animals, but it always really makes me nervous in every game. Whether you're playing Medieval Dynasty or whether you're playing Banished or Dawn of Man, it always takes a different amount of fuel to keep homes warm during the winter times. So, you know, do everybody use 700 sticks in a day, or do they use a log a month, you know? Every game is a little different because they all represent different amounts of time. I don't want to call this yet, but I'm thinking we might have this here. We have 5 mushrooms. It's not 0 food. Gotta wait until... That one looks green to me. Maybe it's just because it's so close and I'm being optimistic, but we're almost to the beautiful month of spring. 12, 18. All right. 5 fresh fish. Luckily, we've gathered so many materials that I don't think we need to really work on anything else for a while except for just gathering logs. So when spring does come around, I think we'll just go full ration and full labor and just have everybody start clear-cutting that forest. Night's a little too dark, though, I will say. Even with the skip nights feature, I want to be able to at least see the ground like the sky. Wow! There are actually dynamic clouds in this game? The skybox actually looks like it's actually responding to like weather conditions. That's amazing. Might be a way to predict the weather if you pay attention in the future. You might see clouds coming down before, you know, a day before you'll know it's going to rain or something. Not that it would really affect anything. You know, you can't get anything done within a day in this time. And oh boy, we're down to 5 fish. Oh boy. Even if I start rationing, somebody's going to be mad. We got to make it one more day. No more mushrooms, no more fresh fish. There might be a fish or two being caught. I see somebody over there fishing. They are bringing back the fish. Or they're running off into the woods to sell them. They're scalping. Wow, the first scalper here in Raptoria. Imagine that. Oh, there you go. 10 fresh fish. I don't even see anybody using the fire anymore. I don't see anybody lighting the fire in the middle of the winter. I also do like how winter, you know, as it is in some parts of the world, is kind of more muddy, mushy. You know, it's cold and damp and it rains often. Sometimes it doesn't snow. This is winter that a lot of people experience. Where I'm from, it's very cold and windy and it will snow often. 4 dry fish, 6 fresh. I think did we just have mushrooms in the list? I hope so. Holy crap, if we do this, ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow could be our first day of spring. And that just means we're going to need more and more fish into storage. Otherwise, everybody in the camp literally just has to work in order to stay alive. Let's have this person fish. Work groups are set to 0, okay. Set the maximum 14, I believe. Alright, luckily nobody's eating food at nighttime. We have 4 fish remaining. Everybody's going to eat tomorrow. Holy crap. 4 fish. Oh wait, fresh fish too. Ah, they must eat the fresh fish first and then turn the dry... Oh, yep. And that's it, ladies and gentlemen. That is our food. If we make this, we have ourselves a fortress, and that will be interesting. Some people going without food, they can wait a little while. They can go maybe a day or 2 in the game. Unless this person is able to actually get fish. If this person can fish, they'll come home. Wow, look at how far our people are going. That's crazy. Look at how far they're going upriver. You know, actually, I wonder at the very beginning of the game, too, how big the square is that they allow you to work in. I think it feels like several kilometers. It's a rectangular shape, so it feels like maybe... I don't know, like it looks like 10 by 20 kilometers or something. Seems like a very large area. And it seems like also our people are eating fish raw. I just don't see that campfire being used. Alright, well, let's wait a minute or 2. Tomorrow should officially be our first day of spring. We can put people on gathering in order to get food. I guess we'll put it on half capacity. And maybe we'll keep it to like 3. Or even 4. Now, the good thing is I think that berries and such will immediately grow. There's not like a mid-period where things will be available later in the spring. I think it's immediate. Oh, everybody went to bed hungry. They ain't gonna be happy. There's no real way to tell if they're angry or whatnot unless you click on their portrait, so it's kind of hard to tell the situation without looking at everybody when they're deployed. Everybody's famished and sick. Luckily, we have until they're very sick. Okay, it's March, winter, spring is here. Does it look like spring? Oh. Hold on, let's slow things down. Does this look like spring? See a lot of little green on the leaves here. Okay, let's cut the members down to about this many here. Let's see what happens. Now, if people start to starve, I suppose that's on me for not fishing earlier. However, with this being a first attempt and every game being a little different with food, it's a good learning experience on what to do. I kind of already had my plan for next time, so I'm proud to know where the lines are here and what might be the best thing to do. Oh, and it looks like somebody's just thinking about leaving, so that's actually quite good. Usually they give you a warning about maybe a day or two before they actually... It says that they're thinking about leaving, but they will stay here until their death. Good. Very good. Alright, what do we have for food and food and drink? Well, water, I guess, is unlimited, but... Well, it looks to be spring. Very early in spring. Although it says March winter, I don't really think that's going to go on for much longer. I don't see any food coming in. Well, let's speed up time. Drying racks are being repaired but not used. No food is being gathered from the gathering group. Minor repairs are being done. Seth is thinking about leaving. Well, if we lose a few people, I guess chalk it up to experience and move forward. Oh, look at all these green leaves. We've got to be in wintertime now. Well, let's kind of keep an eye on things. Luckily, I don't think anybody can die while they're in their sleep in this game. But they will stay in their tent once they're very, very sick. They can recover. But if we're in any sort of immediate danger, we'll see skulls above everybody's heads. Boy, this is just... I'm just super nervous now. Just a lot of hand-wringing going on here. Fourth, fifth person now thinking about leaving. Time will slow down automatically if we have ourselves a death. Now we're past the first day of spring. Gotta be some food available in the spring for people to gather. And here we are, our first death now. Dying of starvation at 48. Let's continue to wait here. Got a lot of people on the fishing team. A lot of people on the gathering team. Seems like it's everybody for themselves when it comes to fishing. If you don't fish, you don't eat, I guess. Person here on the verge of death. Doing a little dancing. Still no food to be seen. Even after fishing. Lack of sticks, -8, but there's no food to be made. We can tell the gathering group to go grab berries too. It seems like nobody's actually going on to the fishing team. Nor the gathering team. A few more deaths are imminent here. Just no food in the spring at all. No fishing, no berries, no... nothing at the moment. Let's actually stop for a quick second and try to make sure all fishing areas are designated here. I assume they are, since everybody's walking several kilometers to the north, where we probably marked it as well, all along the river. Okay, death number 2. Number 3 now. And now they're all asleep. Or at least they're trying to. Well, this might be just like in Banished and a few other games where usually everybody starts to die because people, you know, you set things up and it survives for a number of years, and then eventually people start to die just because they kind of aren't doing their jobs anymore. And in this case, they're definitely not getting any sort of fish, so it's not that we have to survive winter. It's that we also have to survive spring. We have to survive 2 full seasons. Oh, maybe people can die in their tents, unless somebody was out there before they got back. So 6 or 7 deaths. Let's see. Well, we're just standing by. I don't even see the fire going anymore. I'm wondering, you know, if people can't even cook their meals anymore, but they don't even have basic fish, so... Well, we do know that that's not accurate. People can die in their tent. Alright, they're up again. Yeah, it certainly looks like spring. I see green. Spring has sprung. Well, we're in April, which apparently is still a winter month. People just kind of doing the Harlem Shake and not really working. I've seen this in many other games, though. I've got to say this isn't unique. Now, we also did this on a live stream a few weeks ago, or a few days ago. So if you haven't subscribed to the channel, turned on the notification bell, make sure you do, where we do things live. And in this case, we kind of saw the same situation break down, though I thought knowing what was coming this time around would prepare us even more. But it just looks like there's nothing going on in terms of fishing anymore. Only one person is assigned to that group. Everybody else is of age to do it, but only one person is accepting the job. How strange. Well, that's early access for you, I guess. Geez, I really want to be able to build this in here. But it seems very tedious to make sure that they are able to survive 2 full seasons. That's 6 months without any sort of food. That means, I think, if you start the game, the first thing you should do is make a basket and some sticks and have everybody fish for 10 years. Until every fish in the entire country has been gathered up. Well, let's see what happens at the very end. Unfortunately, we'll have to just kind of wait it out like this. And hopefully stories like this and episodes like this can help developers to make better games too. A lot of people were asking, by the way, if I had gotten anything in return from this, but according to Federal Trade Commission FTC regulations, of course, we'll need to place that there's been, you know, like a payment in order to play this. And you guys know just as much as anyone else that these types of games are really fun to play, and we do them all on the channel, from Dawn of Man to Foundation to Kingdoms and Castles to Surviving the Aftermath, City Skylines, Tropico 6, etc. The list goes on. So this is just one that I'm hoping makes some big improvements over time, so that way we can really see it in its full potential. There's a nice little taste of what's to come here, but with early access, of course, it'll take a little bit of time to really see things through. Wow, looks like a 3-year-old is left in the camp to live on the camp's legacy. Our whole, it's like a modern-day movie. A 3-year-old girl is, wait, what is her problem? She's sick, she's dumb, has malnutrition, she's dying, and she's a little upset. Obviously Canadian then. Just a smidge upset. And she's died in her house. Great. Wow. Alright. Well, I do appreciate you folks for your positivity and cheering me on in this first try here in this game. Ooh, show or hide landmarks. What does that mean? We achieved a fame of 977. I don't know what that means. And I think that means maybe the buildings that we built, but we did survive for 12 months. Whole year. Although it's the game's still considering this to be winter, so maybe that's why it's not spawning fish. I don't know. Alright guys, well I want to come on back sometime soon for more Ancient Cities. My apologies that we didn't get to see the full building of a fortress around the city, but I think time and time again we will try to make this playthrough even better when the developer adds more content, and when I become more experienced with this, we should be able to have a much more challenging and exciting time in the future. I'm hoping to see more from this game, just like I want to see more updates for many other games. So if you have any other suggestions for a game that I should check out that's City Builder, let me know down below in the comments section, especially if there's new updates to something that we've played before on the channel. Again, thanks to all of you for being the best and most positive, supportive audience on YouTube. To get those ones going down below in the comments section too. I appreciate everybody's support. Hope you have a great day, and we'll see you next time. Thanks everyone for joining me for Ancient Cities here on the channel. We'll see you soon. Have a great day, and goodbye everyone.